All right, Ronan MMA, welcome back to the channel. Now, Sean Strickland's Media Day interview just wrapped up, and I want to talk about it. And first, off the top, I want to make it very clear, I am a Canadian, so this is going to be a Canadian living and breathing, talking about Sean Strickland's attack on a large chunk of the Canadian population, those who voted for a certain politician, okay? So I'm going to talk about all that. I want to talk about the reporter that tried to get him in trouble and all of that stuff. But first, I want to say, when this fight was announced back in November, I made a video that was not very popular among Canadians, saying explicitly that I felt as though Canadians don't deserve Sean Strickland to come and fight here. We deserved the Raquel Pennington versus Bueno Silva as a main event because that's what we earned, okay? But we did need Sean Strickland, and I said that I hope Sean Strickland comes to Canada with the same energy that he went to Australia with, where he was calling out reporters and journalists for the acts of their government that they refused to report on that took place from about 20 to 2023. I'll just put it like that so as not to get in trouble, okay? He went hard on the Australian government and their treatment of their citizens, and he came and he did exactly what I hoped he would do, and as I said, I want to talk about it. Now, we're going to go over a few parts of his Media Day interview. I'm going to give my reaction to them. I did a live reaction on a live stream that is in the members only section now because it would probably get demonetized on YouTube. But first, what I want to say is, now I am sure there are a lot of you who know who James Lynch is. Now, James Lynch, I don't have strong opinions about him other than he subscribed to my channel, and I very much appreciate that because he has a much larger channel than I do, so he's obviously trying to support a smaller Canadian channel. I know there are people that have been banned from his chat for what they perceive to be silly reasons. I know there are people that also really like James Lynch. I, for one, respect the shit out of him. I think that he's based as fucking all get out because out of the 4 or 5, however many Canadian reporters that were there, he was the only one that stated loudly and proudly, I did not vote for Justin Trudeau. Also, I've heard him speak on multiple live streams about the gender agenda that is going on in schools and how he is concerned about it, which is a completely justified concern because he has children, okay? So I know that James Lynch is based. You might not like him or his content, doesn't matter. I want to play this clip of him loudly and proudly stating that he did not vote for Justin Trudeau.
Hey, Sean, over here. I saw you train with Johnny Eblin.
Oh, you're the Canadian.
That's right.
You're not a dirty liberal, though. I've known you for a while. You don't ruin our friendship. Are you a fucking liberal?
I'm not a liberal. No.
Okay.
I didn't vote for Trudeau. Johnny Eblin, what was it like getting a train with
Wait, you say you're liberal for Trudeau?
No, I said I did not vote for Trudeau.
Oh, there we go. This guy's the fucking man. That's not the guy. This guy's with the fucking opposition, man. You're
All right, now this next clip I'm going to play for you is a little less positive. I wanted to wait a little bit longer in the video to start getting into this shit, because I have a feeling it could potentially get me demonetized, at least on this video. But regardless, dude, I'm going to play a clip for you of another journalist named Alexander Cayley. This guy is a Canadian journalist, works for MMA Fighting, which is the very same organization that Ariel Helwani is at the head of. So we know what kind of individuals we are dealing with here, okay? Alexander Cayley is from British Columbia, Vancouver, British Columbia, which might be, you know, it makes all the fucking sense in the world. And we are going to go over some of his tweets that he has posted previous to this. But he's got a UFC champion up. I'll just play the clip for you and then I'll talk about it after.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I did want to ask
Did you vote for Trudeau?
I'm not going to say.
And let me tell you something right now. The man says he's not going to say. Like, if you ask a motherfucker, did you vote for Biden? He's like, well, I'm not going to say. That's none of your business. He voted for fucking Biden.
Sean,
So, hey.
Sean, I'm glad you had great experience.
So this is what I'm talking about, you guys. The enemy of Canada.
Sure.
All right.
That's what it's got to be. It's got to be. We've got a pretty supportive gay and lesbian community in this city. I did want to ask you about something you wrote a couple of years ago. You said, if I had a gay son, I would think I'd...
Oh, look, another. I'm saying to you, the swamp, you guys, the swamp.
You become a champion, you become a star, and someone...
Let me ask you something. Are you gay?
Have you had the chance
No,
to interact with a more diverse...
are you? Let me know. Are you gay?
Can I get an answer?
Well, no, I'm asking. This is the part. Are you a gay man?
I'm an ally of the community.
Okay.
All right, now the first thing that drives me fucking nuts about this clip is that you have a UFC champion on stage in front of you. It is your turn to ask questions. That UFC champion is fighting in your home country, okay? You could be asking him about the fight. You could be asking him about what he thinks about the scenery, the city, the country in general, all of this shit. And what does your little fucking bitch ass choose to ask him about? A tweet that he made a few years ago about how he would feel if he had a gay son, okay? And Sean this interaction right here, this is just the very beginning. We're going to be going over more clips, but this set the tone for this entire interaction. And while I am depressed that this man basically represents Canada in this scenario, right? Because he is a Canadian reporter. He's proud about it. He has it in his fucking Twitter bio or X bio, whatever you want to call it, dude. I hate that he represents Canada, but I will say this, dude. I am so fucking glad that he was here, because if he was not here, we would have not gotten this interaction. We would have not gotten this amazing fucking speech, this amazing flaming that Sean Strickland levied his way. It was absolutely unbelievable. But again, you've got a UFC champion up on stage, and you want to ask him about gay and lesbian people. Quote, we have a very supportive gay and lesbian. Shut the fuck up, dude. What, like 2% of the... Shut up, you fucking bitch. This guy is so cucked. Jesus fucking Christ. Now, we're going to be going over... this is the problem with like 30% of the population here in Canada. And I am so fucking happy Sean Strickland came with the same energy that he did in Australia. We're going to be playing another clip, which is just a little bit more of this interaction with this particular journalist, because he does not let up on this, which is absolutely fucking pathetic. This guy takes his opportunity to virtue signal like a little bitch, rather than actually being a fan of the sport, a journalist of the sport, reporting on the sport objectively and not putting your own political bias into it. He could be asking him so many other fucking questions. Anyways, dude, we're gonna get to the next clip right fucking now.
Oh, man, well, dude, you're a weak fucking man, dude. You're part of the fucking problem. You elected Justin Trudeau. Like, when he sees the bank accounts, like, you're just fucking pathetic. And the fact that you have no fucking backbone and has he shut down your fucking country and seized bank accounts, you ask me some stupid shit like that, go fuck yourself. Move the fuck on, man.
Now, Sean Strickland's reaction to this question was absolutely fucking beautiful. He called out the seizure or the freezing of bank accounts for fucking protesters over mandates, over something that didn't work, stop the spread, any of that bullshit that they said it fucking would. They seized or froze bank accounts of people that donated to the protest, people that weren't even there in person, and he's calling it out, and I fucking love him for it. And he tells this guy to go fuck himself. You want to ask me some shit like this? The perfect response. Again, we are going to be going over the next portion of this thing. I'll play the clip for you guys right fucking now.
Really answer the question, but I did want to ask also things you said about the trans community. You said this past October when they announced the Bud Light sponsorship that you'd go so hard on Bud Light in your next fight they'll have to accept me or denounce me when they know what will know what they stand for.
This guy's like, hey, this Canadian's not that Canadian.
Are you still going to use your fight time to kind of speak on that?
Here's the thing about Bud Light. 10 years ago, to be trans was a mental fucking illness. And now all of a sudden, people like you have fucking weaseled your way into the world. You are an infection. You are the definition of weakness. Everything that is wrong with the world is because of fucking you. And the best thing is the world's not buying it. The world's not buying your fucking bullshit you're fucking peddling. The world is not saying, you know what, you're right, fucking chicks have dicks. The world's not saying that. The world's saying, no, there are two genders. I don't want my kids being taught about, who they could fuck in school. I don't want my kids being taught about, their sexual preference. Like, dude, this guy is the fucking enemy. You want to look at the fucking enemy to our world? It's that motherfucker right there. Asking these.
All right, now Sean Strickland, dude, this fucking guy attempts to virtue signal about the gay and the lesbian stuff. What does he do after he gets completely shut down and roasted by Sean Strickland? Is he going to now report on the sport that he is here to report on? No, he's not, because he's a virtue signaling little bitch that wants to get praise on Twitter from 1% of the population, okay? He asks Sean about his views about the transes and the Bud Light sponsorship and all the fucking rest of it, okay? And Sean Strickland gives the best response I have ever heard in my life. And again, I hate that there are people like this that represent my country. But I'll tell you what, dude, I am very glad he was here. And I also want to tell you guys something. I know a lot of people, because of fucking idiots like this, think that Canadians are soy bitches and we all think the same way and whatever. These are the city slickers. These are the city folk. These are Vancouver people. These are Toronto people. The people that are on the outskirts of Canada are normal. I fucking assure you, okay? And we do not buy this shit. Now, he asks him about the transes and the Bud Light shit. As I said, Sean Strickland goes on one of the best fucking rants of all time. I showed my child, my 11-year-old, this shit, okay? And he says, Dad, we need to get him a crown because it appears that he fucking dropped it, okay? So, Sean Strickland goes off on the best tangent of all time, and he says, rightly points out, by the way, and actually he overestimated. He said 10 years ago, I think it was 5 years ago tops, that gender dysphoria was listed in the DSM-5 as a mental illness. And somebody please fucking tell me, why on earth is that the only mental illness that, rather than try to get the person, the individual, away from their delusions, try to convince them that no, actually that's not going on, it's, you know what I mean, you're okay, blah blah blah, all this shit like we would do with every other mental illness. Why is this the only mental illness that we affirm and tell them, yeah, you know what? Actually, you are a fucking chick, even though you've got an 8-inch slong that's slapping your fucking legs when you run. What are we talking about, dude? If you had a fucking depressed person go in to see a psychiatrist, and that psychiatrist tried to convince him to kill himself, that psychiatrist would be in fucking prison, okay? If you had a guy having nonstop panic attacks, and he goes to his doctor, and his doctor goes, you know what, dude, you're kind of fucking onto something. I think you should maybe be worried all the fucking time, dude. That would be a horrible psychiatrist. If you had a schizophrenic who thought he had aliens in the walls, that was coming out to drink his fucking nightly water that he pours for himself when he wakes up in the middle of the night, you tell them no, and you give them medication. You say, no, sir, the FBI isn't fucking listening to your phone calls. No, sir, the Greys didn't come in and drink your water because they don't need it, okay? It's fucking delusional that we're like, yeah, you know what? You are actually a woman. You do have a penis, but that's okay, dude. It slaps your legs when you run. Who cares? Who cares, dude? Go in the women's bathroom. Go in the women's change room. Put tampons in the men's bathroom in the fucking military, as if there's any goddamn transgenders in the fucking military. Blows my fucking mind, and I hate people like this. Like I said, I can't stand that there are people like this that represent my country. The outskirts are normal. I promise you, dude. The country folk are not like this, okay? We're just not. Now, Sean Strickland goes on to talk about something else that I find to be very important. But first what I want to touch on is he used, in my opinion, the perfect adjective, the best describing word you could possibly use for somebody like this. Now, he called him an infection, right? And he said that you are what's wrong with the world. You are the one trying to push your views onto other people and brainwash people, and you are, and all of this shit, right? And when he says you are the problem, he doesn't just mean that individual, Alexander Cayley, the bitchest fucking MMA journalist of all time. He means you in the fucking general sense, right? You people like you that view the shit. Dude, these are the same people that freak the fuck out when Christians or Catholics or what have you try to push their religious views onto other people. I view this bullshit, this fucking transgender bullshit, as a religion, in my opinion, dude. Or a cult, you know what I mean? If religious folk are offended by that, I could understand it. There's no deity, but I don't fucking believe it. It's a theory. It is not rooted in fact. The same people that say trust the science for years and years and years, except when it comes to basic fucking biology, okay? It's retarded. Enough. If you want to teach your kids about this shit, which is what Sean Strickland talks about next, make a private school and all of you can send your kids there. Do you know what I mean? This is natural selection, dude, because, anyways, I'm not even going to get into that because this video will get fucking taken down. But Sean Strickland goes on to talk about something else that I find very important because I have children, okay? The same way James Lynch has talked about this in the past because he has children. In Canada, it is in the curriculum almost everywhere that you do need to teach what's called SOGI or SOGI, right? Sexual orientation, gender identity. So you are teaching children as a subject about like science and social studies and math. You are also teaching them this retarded shit that you can identify as whatever you want. Also about sexual orientation. You should not be teaching my child that shit. You just shouldn't be. You just fucking shouldn't be, okay? The reason sex ed gets taught in the first place is because it's how humans are made. You're learning about the reproductive organs of male and female. You are not learning that another dude wants to fuck another guy in the ass. Okay? You're just not. And I'm not even saying I have a problem with that. I've said multiple times on this fucking channel, I don't give a fuck what you do in your spare time in your bedroom. Do not push it on my kids or public or anything. Do not try to change the world to fit what you want to do. Okay? The same way you don't like when religious folks tell you to fucking do shit how they want it. Don't do it to other people. It drives me fucking mental. Just shut up, okay? But Sean Strickland goes on this epic rant about it not being taught in schools, and I love him for it. It was beautiful. James Lynch was probably so happy he called this shit out also. The infection, best describing word I have ever heard for people like that. And then he gets triggered at the end. He goes, fucking ask me stupid questions. Go fuck yourself. Now, later on, somebody asks him to clarify his stance, and I want to play that for you all.
Different F word, different word. Yeah. I'm trying to be good, man. I'm trying to be good. I like the fucking gays. Here's the thing. I've never, you guys think I've ever shit on a gay man or shit on a gay woman? I like the gays. It's fucking freedom. We still have it in America. We'll teach you about it. You guys don't have fucking freedom of speech. I'm surprised what I'm saying is probably I'm probably gonna get the fucking Canadian government to arrest me. So I don't give a fuck who you fuck. I don't give a fuck what you want to do in life. But don't fucking tell kids about it. Don't teach that shit in fucking school. Don't fucking push your agenda. Don't try to fucking brainwash people. Don't try to go past parents. Don't try to go past all this shit and brainwash people, you fucking cuck.
All right, now he goes on basically about what I just said, right? I don't hate you if you are gay. I just don't. And he doesn't give a fuck what you do in the bedroom either. Do not tell it to kids. Do not try to push it on kids. Do not try to bypass parents and teach them about shit that they wouldn't necessarily want their child being taught about. Do you know what I mean? Don't fucking do that. Just don't, okay? The parents that want their children to learn about religious values, views, and the Bible and shit like that, they send their kids to a fucking private school because it's not allowed in public schools, right? Do the same fucking thing. Don't teach my kids about it, point blank, period. Sean Strickland, thank you so fucking much, dude. And something else that he pointed out now, he said, we still have freedom in America. You guys, maybe we'll teach you about it because you don't even have freedom of speech. And he says, I'm surprised I haven't got arrested by the Canadian government. Now, he would not be arrested by the Canadian government. I want to clarify this thing. It is not a criminal offense necessarily when you do something that is called quote-unquote hate speech, okay? So misgendering is in that category. Fucking pathetic, okay? If you call a man, you can get a fine, basically, from a human rights tribunal. It's a human rights tribunal issue. It is not a law issue. Now, if you were to refuse to pay that fine, eventually it would become a criminal offense, but not because of the original offense. It's because you're not paying your fucking fine. Do you know what I mean? But I wouldn't be surprised if Sean Strickland catches some sort of fine. I would not be surprised. I am waiting patiently for all of the fucking articles that are going to come out about this because the media will be steaming, dude. Okay, we've got one called the CBC. They are funded by the Trudeau government. They have received almost $1 billion to help fund them because nobody watches their fucking bullshit. They refuse to say anything bad about our current leader, and they are ultra unbelievably just like this fucking pussy journalist, okay? Just like this pussy journalist who, this is one of I can't believe this shit, dude. This was a massive attempt at a virtue signal. I want to point something out to you guys before, though. This is the kind of person that we're dealing with here. He made a tweet late October saying trans women are women, okay? Which is wrong, first of all, factually incorrect. Second of all, this fucking pussy bitch, when this fight got announced in Toronto, he retweeted his own tweet. He pinned it, and he wrote, with the announcement of this fight, I want to remind everybody that trans women are women. Because he knew Sean Strickland was going to be coming here, and he knew that Sean Strickland has said shit about this in the past, and he tried to virtue signal a little bit. This guy's a fucking bitch, okay? And I hate that he is Canadian. I absolutely can't stand him. He has also tried to victimize himself and Asian Canadians and things like this. Nonstop. Praises women's MMA like nobody's fucking business, but also wants a guy to be able to go in there and win the fucking strap. This retard. Goddamn, dude. Again, thank you, Sean Strickland. Thank you for calling this bullshit out, for going after the reporter in the way that you did, for not being afraid to speak your mind, and not letting somebody like a handler that was there or the UFC tell you, you can't say this, you can't say that, I need you to be chill. He goes up there and fucking rages, gives one of the best speeches of all time at a UFC media day. Thank you, Sean Strickland. Anyways, dude, like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. I will see you at the next video. Bye-bye.